tutorials that I'm currently running. We have talked about subject nouns and object nouns and articles and verbs and where to find verbs, and if you don't remember them, you need to rewatch and interact with the last lessons. This is, you're catching, of course, the most recent one, and this is a series, and the series really does begin at the beginning. There is no real way to jump in into the middle and keep up. So this was the first lesson. You'll recognize it if you watched it. Yep. Then last week we talked about prepositions and the preposition demonstrating the relationship of a subject noun to object noun. So it shows what the object noun is doing in its relationship. You'll recognize that picture. And today we're moving on. Today we are talking about something called a conjunction. And some of you are humming to yourself right now. Conjunction, function, conjunction, junction, what's your function? But that's a different use of the conjunction that we're going to be talking about today. Today I'm talking about and. Simple and used to compound subjects, subject nouns, object nouns, and verbs. So, and. Yep. Let me get on it. And is a conjunction. Conjunction. Oops, one too many. And it behaves like this. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Do you say plus or do you say and? Most people will say 1 and 1 equals 2. So the plus sign and the and are equivalents over here. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 and 1 equals 2. So we use that in grammar to do what is called compounding. Yep, let's finish that. My pen is acting up today. Compound. And I think of it as pounding two subjects or two objects or two verbs into one unit, because that's the function. When it does this, it forms two units into one. 1 and 1 over here combine to become 2. Literally shoving them together. 1 and 1, and then we're 2. They get married. Okay, so how it works with a subject noun, and I encourage you to think of these as subject noun and object nouns, because further ahead we'll be talking subject pronouns and object pronouns. And if you're used to just saying noun, you're going to be plumb out of luck and have to go back to the beginning and relearn it, which is way harder than getting it right the first time. So let's look at a sentence. Tom and Sue walked home. So I would draw it, if my pen will. Let's give Tom a hat. Six o'clock shadow. And Sue they're going to hold hands. Walked home. They have a flat top house today. So where's our verb? Did you find it? And it's inside whom? It's inside both of these people. And it's become one unit. Tom and Sue walked home, and they're sharing the verb, aren't they? It's all about sharing in this when you compound. Tom and Sue walked home, so they're sharing this. And home is what? Home has to be the object noun. And Tom and Sue together are subject nouns. It would be really silly if we said, Tom and Sue walked and walked home. So Tom and Sue get treated as one unit, literally becoming shoved together and one. Pretty funny. What about this? The cat and dog chased the ball. So I've got a cat. So much for movement, kind of like my cat. And dog. Once again, my drawing skills leave a lot to be desired. They chase what? The object, the ball. And the ball looks a lot like somebody's head. So the cat and dog are one unit. So the and literally means plus, and it joins them into one. And the verb, chased. And remember, the subject and verb sets are the most important sections of the sentences that you write. There has to be a subject noun, and there has to be a verb in every sentence, or it's a sentence fragment. And the ball is what? An object noun. Object noun. Yeah. Leslie's misspeaking today. So that is, come back here. Those are compound subjects. Well, you might be getting compound verbs a different day. Looking at my time. Okay, compound verbs. We'll move right along. The cat sat and looked. Out the window. Ah! Got a cat? And yay, he's just sitting. Sat and looked. So sat plus looked together equals one verb. Out the window. There's birds out there. That's why he's looking. So our subject is what? So this is the most important part of the sentence. The cat sat and looked. And this other is really add-on, out the window. It's nice to know why he's sitting and looking, though. The window is our object, noun. Out is what? It's a preposition. It demonstrates the relationship of the object noun window to the cat sitting and looking. And together, they are a prepositional phrase. So we have a subject noun, compound verbs, and a PP, prepositional phrase. Okay, the glass fell and broke. Up here. These are what? Compound verbs. Okay. And objects can be done the same way. Let's see if I can just pull up, make it bigger. Good. Compound object nouns. I love coffee and cake. Coffee and cake. I love coffee plus cake. And this and is doing that. I love coffee and I love cake, but we're merging it into one unit for the sake of brevity and clarity, because who wants to read, I love coffee, I love cake? It sounds like the beginning of a song, doesn't it? So I should have made this red. I love, where's the love? Oh boy, believe me, it's in here. I love coffee and I love cake. So the verb inside's reaching out to this unit, coffee and cake, which is one unit. The glass fell. The glass on the counter fell and broke. Okay, look, I've moved a prepositional phrase in between my verbs, my compound verbs. So I've got over here compound verbs. And over here, my subject noun, which has to be there. And this is a PP. And literally, you should be able to cross these off on your papers to find your subjects and verbs. So memorizing these prepositions allow you to say, okay, I can just delete that to find my subjects and verbs to make certain I've got a subject and verb in the sentence. Because every sentence must have a subject, noun, and a verb in order to be a sentence. So this is a PP, prepositional phrase. And we've got compounds today. Compound subjects, verbs, and objects. And the word and that does this. And. So and equals a conjunction, which joins two words. Into one. It marries them together. So we have one and one again. So we